Hi, welcome back to the Potato Museum show. This is Tom talking and Meredith's on the camera. We're going to be talking about an event that we staged at my International School of Brussels. It was called the Potato Olympics. Here's my mug, International School of Brussels. And there I am, and there's all these kids, and we're going to talk about this special event. It was the site of the school was the site of the Potato Olympic Games in 1977. You can see that we're talking about this in the summer of August of 2024, where the Paris Olympic Games are going on. 4 hours by train north is Brussels, and you can see the Brussels, the school where I taught, the International School of Brussels, on the south side of the city. Here's an overview of the campus. And this is the elementary division where I taught 5th grade with students from all over the world. And this is the playground where we held the Potato Olympics. And so all this came about because my students in 1975, let's do the show down here, started a project on the history and social influence of the potato. It became, the collection that we did became, we filled the 2 unused classrooms at the time, and my students, we formed an after-school club, there you can see them, which was dedicated to expanding the collection and having visitors come along. We had a lot of fun. Look at this kid, he's just enjoying. So it was an after-school club. It was originally with my students, 5th grade students, and then it became an after-school club. One of the projects that we did, we noticed that near the campus was a pond full of, we're going to looking up here now. It was a pond full of trash that we, as a community service, we were collecting things, and it turned out that most of the things that we collected were potato chip bags, so we put them on we strung them on a chain, and a wire chain, and they became a decoration for various events, including the Potato Olympics. Potato Olympics came about because potatoes are just such a great subject for kids to do things with, and I'm going to take the camera from Meredith and I'm going to take you around to show you these 10 different events that we did. So we invited a couple of local schools of Belgian kids to come up and join us. There you can see, and we had a table of parents who were always helping me with this project with snacks and things. You see quite a large crowd. And so the idea was there's some really standard fun classic potato races. This one is a potato picker's race, in which they would pick up a potato and run to a basket, and then they'd go back and pick up another one and run to the basket. This is a wonderful variation in which the kids would hold their head, you can see with their hands behind their heads, and there would be maybe 3 kids and only 2 potatoes, and so when somebody said go, they would all grab for a potato, and the one that didn't get a potato would be out. It was sort of like a musical chairs version of the potato, a potato version of musical chairs. There you can see them grabbing for the potato. Another popular event that we staged was hot potato toss. This is a classic game in which kids are standing around in circles, and they toss one potato as if it was really hot. And when the music stops, or when the one kid who's monitoring this would say stop, the kid who is holding the potato would be eliminated. By the way, I want to mention that all my students participated in all this. They were the ones who organized each of the events, ran all the events. I couldn't have done it without them. It shows what kids can do. This is a picture of the campus, or one part in the exhibit that we have. We're over in that building. Here's another game that we did. This is a grab and tag. So 2 kids would be standing around one potato, and they would one kid would try to grab the potato and run away and not be tagged. That's a really fun game for 2 kids. And then the classic potato sack race. We had to borrow burlap bags that were from the Belgian post office to use as our potato sacks. This is another very popular game from the old days. This is carrying a potato across a course on a spoon. Potato spoon race without dropping it. If you dropped it, you had to pick it up and continue on. This is a potato hockey game. Here are kids at the starting line. They have a stick and a potato, and they would have to hit the potato along the course all the way up and back. And here we have a variation of hopscotch. It's a potato hopscotch. And this was always a popular. And this is potato joust. Two kids, each has a potato stuck on a fork, and they're holding one leg so that they're a little bit off balance, and they would have to see if they could, which one could be the first one to knock the other's potato off of the fork. Now, each one of these contests, the winners would get a badge. We had all these badges, little potato related. You can see this student has got a lot of winners, and I think the overall winner was this boy. I don't remember his name, but we made a garland of potato flowers and potato leaves for him to wear. Look at how confident and happy he is, and everybody was joining around. So he was our big champion. There I am with a lot of hair and the Potato Museum t-shirt and a megaphone. So that's a little bit. By the way, it was popular among another race that was popular, which we didn't have. A lot of these kids did have access to horses, but we didn't have, was the potato picking scramble. This was, there would be a pile of potatoes. You would ride over the pile of potatoes. You would get off your horse. You would pick up the potato. You get back on the horse and ride to a bucket, drop the potato. This has the horse doing it, but the kid did it. And then you would go back. So that's a potato picking scramble. And then another event at the real Olympics is shooting pistols and guns. And so we had a similar thing. We had shooting a potato pistol, which we're going to show you in a minute, at a target, which is a potato beetle, the arch enemy of the potato plant. Here you can see that it's going on, target practicing. And we're going to show you how that works now. I'm going to hand this over to you. So here is potato gun. It shoots harmless potato pistol pellets, more than 250 shots from one potato. And I think this is all loaded. There you go. Look at it. It ended up right at the potato. And so what you would do is you gouge out a potato, and you've got the little pellet in there, and you squeeze it, and there it goes. Now, some years ago when we were doing this, a Japanese visitor to the museum that we had, the exhibits, said, well, aren't you hurting the spirit of the potato by doing all of this, you sort of damaging it and injuring it? And we said, well, it was a good question. I was saying, well, yeah, I didn't think about that. But while we were talking, we had, by the way, a chicken. We kept chickens. That was another part of the project. And the chickens were all coming around, and they were eating the little pellets. So I said, look, there you go. It's being recycled. And him being Japanese, I knew that they use potatoes, because they're full of moisture, to put flowers in, sort of a form called ikebana, and it becomes a nice base, and it keeps the plants alive. So that's a little bit about potato pistols, and it's a little bit about our Olympics, the Potato Olympics that we had at the International School of Brussels when I was teaching there in the 70s. Thanks for joining us. See you again sometime.